is all the time. Customers, dealerships, and even the auto shops come to Merrill's. So you better take it to Merrill right downtown.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Next week on the Outdoor Call Radio Lab, we're going to get into turkey decoy positioning, call strategies. On the unknown files, we're going to talk to a hunter that was out hunting out in the West Coast. Had an encounter with a huge animal, and it wasn't an elk. We're going to get into that. We have a whole bunch of other stuff. We got new shows starting. It's a great time if you haven't done it already to download the Outdoor Call Radio Lab. You're only 24
KRNT Des
hours,
Moines is 102.1 FM and 1350 ESPN. Des Moines Sports Leader.
Download the app and answer the call.
Radio Group Station.
Next week on the Outdoor Call Radio Lab, we're going to get into it. Turkey decoy positioning, call strategies.
Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
Morning, Jim.
You on two?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Go ahead. All right, welcome to this week's edition of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN, brought to you by our friends out in Carlisle, Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage. It's where you can get a 12 by 50 assigned spot for $60 a month, 1 month free when you pay for a year, secure gates 24/7, security cameras, and discounts for multiple locations. Call Tracy, Dick, or Danielle at 515-822-1362. Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage in Carlisle. Tell them the Outdoor Guy sent you. Hope everyone's doing well on this fine Saturday morning. Daylight savings today. Don't forget when you go to bed tonight. Spring ahead. Spring ahead. We're going to lose an hour. I thought they got rid of that stuff, man. Good morning, Tony. Grant. You know, do you all know Grant Neal? Grant Neal is my buddy with Pure Whitetail. Grant's affectionately known throughout the country as the Dust Commander. If you don't know what that's all about, you need to hop on Pure Whitetail and check out what they got going, because I'll tell you more about that as the year progresses. But he is one fine feller, my friend Grant Neal. Richard Grimes, good to see you, buddy. Tell you, Anita Joe, I said hi. Fishing Dave, good morning. Hank, how's everything down at Revelton Distillery, buddy? Let me know when that rye's coming out. I got Larry Mack and everybody all excited about that, Hank. Good to see you, pal. Got a fun show for you today. We're going to be talking turkeys. I got Jim, Grant Neal, thank you, my buddy, sir, Dust Commander, sir. I should, what would be better, the Dust Commander or the Dust General? I like the Dust Commander. It flows better,
Well, no, I mean, I will say Dust General. It's a boom. It goes quick, but Dust Commanders, it brings more presence. I
don't know. I like Dust Commander because he's large and in charge, and
yeah.
The guy puts out some amazing deer scents, and my mock scrapes. Hey, the proof is in the pudding. I got done in early October in Iowa on a really, really nice buck, which I already got. Morning, Andrew. Good to see you down there, buddy. I got my buck back already from 22 season.
Nice.
And I would not have got that buck as early as I did if it wasn't for Pure Whitetail mock scraping starting in June. I'm telling you what, June's a ticket. June, get those deer habituated. They coming in, checking out those scrape lines. And that Pure Whitetail, you put that Pure Whitetail dust out there, the bedded up and bachelor group, and I'm just telling you right now, man, you're gonna see more trail cam pictures, and you're gonna have a chance of killing a whopper using Pure Whitetail. Larry and Philip got me hooked on that stuff 2-3 years ago, and that's one of the best tips I ever got from Larry Mack and Philip Vanderpool. I'm telling you right now. So Grant, Dust Commander, sir, thank you. Morning, Jeff. Ate at the Beaverdale VFW last night. Great place. Well, that sounds awesome, Jeff. Hey, we got a fun show for you today. We're going to be talking turkeys. I got Iowa DNR biologist Jim Coffey on the line. We're going to be hitting him in a second. I got some fishing stuff I need to tell you about today. We got a trout program and I got somewhat of a fishing report. So we got a full show, and I think Joe Smelter is going to be on today. And I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time. I'm gonna be giving away a Fourth Arrow gift card. got it just in time to help film your spring turkey hunting adventures. Good morning, John Bungie. Florida. John Bungee's in Florida, man. I'll tell you what, that John Bungie feller, that Iowa Deer Classic was amazing. Him and Angie and just everybody there that works there. It was such a fun classic. Larry Mack and I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thank you for everybody that came by the booth and said hi. You'll never know how much we appreciate that. Telling us how much you like the programs. And Andrew, I don't know if Andrew was there for a couple days here and there, but did I tell you how many people came up and said they liked the new Bigfoot Ghost Show?
Oh man, that was when I was there. That was as big of a hit as anything.
I'm telling you what, we had over 50, 60 people that told us that they loved the show, the new show, the Unknown Files show. So hey, we're gonna keep it squatchy on Thursday nights at 7:00, and we got a humdinger of a show coming up Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, you're not gonna want to miss the Unknown File show. It's pretty cool. Good morning, Rick. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks, John. Hey, next year at the Deer Classic, listen to this. In a row, booth-wise, in a row, the Outdoor Call Radio, Respect the Game TV, the Small Town Hunting Guys and Backwoods Attraction, and Rupert's Roost in Peace Turkey Calls. We're going to have 4 booths putting out some outdoor power next year at the Iowa Deer Classic. 80-something feet of outdoor love. I'm telling you. And maybe Pure Whitetail might be there too. I heard some rumblings. So next year's Classic is going to be a hoot. Hey, speaking of hoots, let's go see what my buddy Jim Coffey's doing with the Iowa DNR. Did you hear that? Who cooks for you?
I sure did.
What are you doing, buddy?
I am sitting out here listening for some turkeys this morning.
Are you hearing any?
I have not heard it. It's a little windy today. Cloud cover, got some storms coming in, so they might be a little bit quiet, but they're definitely getting into the mood.
Oh, John Pageant's watching us. Good morning, John. I haven't talked to you in a while, buddy. I hope you're well. You know who John Pageant is, Jim?
I do not know.
That young man has the number 2 Iowa, the number 2 Florida Osceola turkey under his belt.
Congratulations.
Over 2-inch spurs, man. You ever seen a bird with over 2-inch spurs?
No, not in Iowa. I have not. I've seen some pretty close. I've seen some close ones.
Well, what are you doing, Jim? Just start mixing up the eggs a little bit more. Come on.
Yeah, put a little spur hormone in there, huh?
Yeah, we need a little more Velociraptor action in them eggs.
You just got to remember when you carry all that hardware around, life gets tougher too.
I'm just telling you, man. I would love to see a bird with over 2-inch spurs. That would I think my biggest Tom was a Merriam I got out in as far as spurs was out in was it Nebraska or Montana? I can't remember now. They're starting to all run together now. But he had a little over 8 and 7/8 spurs, and I was happy with him.
Sure, I would be too. That's one of the things we talk about in our turkey hunting seminars is to be careful of those spurs because I have seen those spurs go through people's hands before.
Yeah. Gary says, good morning. Thanks for putting the crappie connection on the Outdoor Call Radio app. Gary, you're welcome. That's a fine show. I'm glad you're listening to it. So, you know, Jim, I got to tell you, I'm just worthless right now. I can't turkey hunt for 3 more weeks, and it's eating me up.
You need to go south.
I'm not going to Florida, man. I'm just, I love turkey hunting. Once was enough for me. I got my Osceola. I know Alabama or Mississippi's open right now, too. That wouldn't be too bad, but I just don't like hunting around them stupid alligators, man. Everybody should have a pair of alligator boots and a handbag or a briefcase.
You just got to remember, anticipation is part of the hunt. Everybody's getting their calls out, they're getting their gear ready, and that gets the excitement level up, and it'll be here soon in Iowa.
Well, we got a little bit. Their hens, they're still a little bit away from nesting, aren't they? Or laying or breeding?
Yeah, but the males are definitely strutting and gobbling, and they're getting their business started. The hens, of course, aren't really reactive yet, but we're probably 3 weeks away before you really start seeing the hens get excited about starting to build nests.
Yeah. Hey, I was talking about this on the show Wednesday. I think Wednesday, or I was doing maybe some turkey tips or something. I was doing something. Good morning, Jay Iverson. Good to see you. Um, I was one of my honey holes just dried up the last 2 years, and I noticed I went out after about the third set. I kind of went and did some exploring, and there used to be a CRP, and a pretty good switchgrass field to the southeast of where I was. I always had 9 or 10 toms roosting right there with some hens and stuff. They'd fly down, do their stuff, get their pecking order going, and get after it. But they just disappeared on me, and I discovered that grass and that CRP was burnt off from where it was. Boy, does that make a difference when they don't have that nesting cover, huh?
Well, yeah, it's part of their life cycle. They've got to have that nesting cover and brooding cover, and they have to have a good place to roost. And that's one thing we talk about with landowners is that you have to sit in a situation where they have all of life's activities. I try to put it in the perspective of humans. If your TV set was on the other side of town and your refrigerator's on the other side of town and your bed was on the other side of town, it'd make life pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, when people, if your annual spot is not good, it's always good to do a little walking, Jim, to see what's going on, huh?
It is, and we're pretty fortunate in Iowa that spot can be a pretty small spot. We've got a lot of diversity in Iowa, and turkeys are pretty habitual, so they're probably around someplace. And just that little bit of disturbance has probably shifted them one way or the other.
Yeah. So what are you seeing right now as far as flocks and stuff?
Well, we're in an interesting time of the year for turkeys. The spring's coming, the days are getting longer, they're starting to change their biology a little bit, but yet they're still in their winter flocks. And we'll see that breakup probably start to occur here the next week or two. They'll start to go back to their traditional areas where they're going to start setting up those strut grounds, and the hens are going to be starting to get a little more active with the day length. So the next 2 weeks is going to be pretty interesting for turkeys.
Yeah, I've been fielding a little questions. Everybody was getting excited about these 50, 60-degree weather we might get at the end of next week. And I had some people saying that, hey, is that going to mess us up? Are they going to be ahead of schedule for breeding? And it's like, I've tried and to tell them it's not so much weather related as it is the amount of daylight. It's photo period that gets the hens going. Like you said, the toms are always ready, but the hens aren't.
Yep, that's exactly right. The weather will shift them a little bit, and just like ourselves, when it's warm, we'll get out, we'll walk a little bit more, but we still know it's winter, and we're not going to get too excited. But day length is what's getting us excited. From a human standpoint, we're all starting to think about getting our gardens plowed and getting our seeds bought because we know that's coming. And turkeys are the same way. They know that their day or year is going to start up here pretty quick.
Yeah. What did you see for winter mortality in Iowa, or did we do pretty good?
For turkeys, we did real well. Turkeys are not real susceptible to winter mortality, especially when you think about cold and snow. It usually takes persistent snow depth of over 10 inches before turkeys start to have to think about changing where they move and things like that. Ice is always a concern. We didn't have any real big ice storms this year that stayed very long. So we didn't have any reports that really showed anything of any significance.
Okay, that's good. Well, I still shake my head at Minnesota. I don't know how them turkeys are thriving up there when they got 25, 36 inches of snow, and them turkeys are all over the place. They're doing really well up in northern Minnesota.
Yeah, they are, and a lot of that's to attribute to the fact that they're living near humans and human activity. So if you get some wind, that blows the snow off. It gets you back to the bare dirt. You've got some cohesiveness with deer. As those deer are pawing down, they can still get the greens. And then, of course, you've got agriculture. And if you're out spreading manure and you're doing other activities, that creates space for turkeys as well.
Yeah. Now, did they? Somebody was telling me they eat stuff off the trees.
They can. Yep, they'll eat a lot of berries and buds. Absolutely. Yep. Turkeys are pretty omnivorous. They'll eat about anything. You think about backyard chickens. If it looks like it might go down their gullet, they'll try to eat it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad.
Sometimes.
They'll get up into pine trees. Pine trees are good too because they provide a lot of thermal cover, so they're not burning as much energy.
Yeah. Well, They're definitely in the pines, that's for sure. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Richard, good morning out there on the East Coast. Sammy, my little buddy in the Air Force, Donovan's little. Well, he's not a little guy anymore. I met that kid. He was like 4 inches high, and now he's an airman or a sergeant or something in the Air Force now, out there in the West. So, Sammy, proud of you, buddy. I'm getting old, Jim. I mean, it's just not fair, man. These kids, and when I first started going out there, they were just so little. Now they're out there in the Air Force doing their own thing. It's making me feel old, man.
Well, time goes fast.
I'm telling you. Mark Mullen, good morning. You're welcome, Sammy. So, hey, I got to ask you, turkey season's kicking off down in Alabama, Mississippi. Florida's already kicking it. Are their turkey numbers way better than ours? Or they got more birds, or what? Is it just because they're farther south that the cycle starts earlier?
Well, their season starts earlier because what we just talked about, that photo period, the day length, it's obviously warmer down there, so the biology of the bird is a little earlier than our bird.
Yeah.
Here. Population-wise, a lot of that just depends on the available space. They probably have more turkeys than we do, but if you really want to, get into the nitty-gritty, we probably have more turkeys per acre than they do, because you have a lot of good turkey habitat doesn't mean it's great turkey habitat.
Yeah,
a lot of those pine barrens and stuff are not great turkey habitat, but they provide good space.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never hunted Mississippi. Have you been down there at all?
I have not. Not for turkeys for sure.
Yeah.
I've got a couple friends that go down every year, and they enjoy it. They do well.
Yeah.
It's not something. I'm not a big traveler, but yeah, I'm kind of like you. I'm not a big snakes and gators fan. And that's one thing we talk about with turkey safety. There's a lot of people that travel now.
Yeah.
And you kind of know your area where you hunt, but when you travel someplace else, whether it be Florida, Mississippi, or even out in Colorado, that's a different country, and you need to be prepared to hunt that situation. So we talk a lot about, if you go to Mississippi, how to place your feet, where to sit at, because there could be a snake curled up at the base of the tree, or there could be other things you're not aware of, or out west you get caught in a sudden snowstorm and you're not quite prepared for it. So when you travel, you got to be prepared for the conditions you're going to be hunting in.
Yeah, I've just not a lot of patience for cottonmouths or water moccasins down there. I'm telling you.
There's just it's a different hunt, and that's what we see when people come to the Midwest. They'll call me and say, I want to come to the Midwest and hunt. What's it like? And I try to give them a pretty good perspective, because they're traveling from some place that's not like Iowa.
Yeah.
And if you want to hunt big oak hickory timber, is a great place to come hunt. But if that's what you normally hunt, maybe you want to go hunt the hills of northeast Iowa, or go hunt the Loess Hills, or hunt some different country. That gives you a different perspective.
Yeah, Brandon says that the toms are just beating the snot out of each other right now.
That's all they got to do, because the ladies aren't looking at them.
Yeah. Do they reestablish their pecking order every morning?
Well, I wouldn't say every morning. There's always going to be challenges. So once that pecking order's set, it's pretty much set. But it's those 2-year-old birds are the ones that are always kind of pushing and shoving each other, because today's the day I feel like I can take you. Yesterday you beat me, but I'm going to try again. And once that gets established, now we're just wasting energy and taking the potential of hurting ourselves. But this time of the year, when the ladies aren't looking at you, that's all you've got to do. So you puff up and you walk around and show off to each other.
Yeah.
So in a couple, 3 weeks, you don't have to go through all those wasted energy moments.
Absolutely. Morning, Rick. Rick said he's coming down from his roost. Good morning. Good morning, Bryce. Good to see you. Hey, Jim, hang on. I get to take a real quick break. We come back. I want to talk a little bit about season dates and, what you're seeing as far as numbers around the state. Can we do that?
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back with Iowa DNR biologist, Mr. Jim Coffey, right here on the Outdoor Call Radio.
Trails are not always easy. That's why your boots need to fit.
Good fine fella right there, Mr. Jim Coffey. I hope you're enjoying the show.
Folks on their adventures for over 40 years.
Would you hang up on him?
I tested and learned over the years that using only the highest
Andrew's hanging up on the guests now.
is the way to make footwear
Lovely.
for the whole family in all situations. Whether you're out elk hunting hunting, chasing moose, or white
So sometime between now and 9 o'clock, I'm going to be giving away a Fourth Arrow $50 gift card here on the show this morning. You can get you some a tripod. You can get you a monopod. You can get you something to film your outdoor adventures. Fourth Arrow is good stuff. That's what we use on Respect the Game TV and on the Outdoor Call Radio for filming.
Please go to www.itascabrands.com.
Good morning, Josh Martin, sir. How are you, crappie man? You guys have been tearing them crappies up, Josh.
Protect them at all times. Do you live in an area that you want to keep open and not have a traditional fence to protect your pet? No worries. Call Chris at Pet Stop of Des Moines. Chris Ultra is the
you don't get if you don't know who Josh Martin and Grant Neal is. If you haven't chimed in on that pure whitetail stuff, you need to do that. Get on there and check them out. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be thoroughly entertained whenever I get a little live update on my phone that Josh and Grant are going live. I always flip over because the entertainment value alone is worth it. Those guys, they're hilarious. And they got some smoking deals going on. Morning, Daniel. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well.
Call 515-975-2190 or go online at petstop.com. Petstop.
That pure crappie stuff, we're almost a few weeks away. You want to get some nice baits made in the U.S. That pure crappie stuff's pretty nice. Morning, Scott.
Mississippi-based Backwoods Attractions product line has you covered. From their food plot blends like Trophy Acre, Lazy Acre, Clover Deluxe, and the popular Dixie 6, to their attractants like Game Changer, Sweet Stuff, and Buck Robber. The best way to put it is, if you're not using Backwoods Attraction products, you better hope your neighbor isn't either. From small to large acreage, Backwoods Attraction has the feed and seed.
Not yet, Patrick, but I'll try and do that for you. Morning, Jeff. Good to see you.
To set yourself up for a successful fall.
Do you love hearing that old Tom sound off while you're in the field? Well, then you need to check out Live Action Decoys. Hey, I love hearing that old Tom sound off when I'm in the field. Live Action Decoys are one of the most realistic. It's actually one of my favorite sounds, that and an elk bugle. Turkey hunting. Wade and Teresa Goddard start with a snort wheeze. And then apply their patented system that allows you to raise your. Where would I rank them? Up and down. Move it side to side.
Give your top 5 outdoor sounds.
Top 5 outdoor sounds. So amazingly lifelike. Gotta be. Plus, the good thing is they're made right here. Yeah. In the good old there you go, Rick. That was a good one. I would say turkey gobble number 1, elk bugle number 2, a deer, a whitetail buck, either fighting or a snort wheeze would be 3 and 4. And number 5 would be the thump of an arrow hitting my target. Schwack. There you go. The schwack of my arrow hitting that target. Probably my top 5. There you go, Nathan. Good to see that.
Contaminate what's in your cooler. If you like to hunt or fish, look at the Alaskan Series or Arctic Ice Packs that will keep your game.
I don't know, man. That elk bugle, when you're sitting out there on a water hole in a wallow or up on a ridge and you start cow calling and you get that. Oh, man. Especially when they come in behind you. It just gets the old hair on the back of the neck going. I don't know. I like hearing that. I like hearing that challenge call from a buck too, though. I don't know. It's got to be definitely a top 5 or 6.
Lots of goodness. Lots of fun.
Oh, man. Got a turkey camp going on at 11 o'clock today at Sportsman's Warehouse. If you're not doing nothing, got some Dave Smith decoys we're going to give away to some kids. Come out, we'll put them in a drawing, and then got some Rupert's Roost and Peace turkey calls for you to try out. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday. Got a ton of people on Facebook Live this morning. Hank, thank you. Nathan, good morning. Chris says a bugle to buck grunt to buck snort wheeze and gobble and fish farts. I don't know if I've ever heard fish farts. Let's go back to the phones and see what our buddy Jim's doing. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have a story, but I'm not going to tell it about fish farts. But,
Have you actually heard a fish fart?
I have not, but
Yeah.
but I had an excursion many years ago with a group of young kids, and we were out on the ice doing a little walking in the spring or in the wintertime, and we went across the bay, and the ice was clear, and we looked down, and there's all these little air bubbles underneath the ice, and one of the kids asked me, he goes, "What are all those little air bubbles?" And of course, it's oxygen and it's decomposition and things happening under the water. And I said, "Well, those are fish farts. Come spring when the ice melts, it's really going to be stinky around here."
Yeah. Well, how are they going to argue with you? You're a biologist, you know.
And you got to be careful what you tell 5 and 6 year olds, because I'm sure there's some kids out there today that still believe those are fish farts.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Wild Man. Good to see you. So, how's the population look around Iowa, Jim?
So we're coming off another good production year, and we were above the 5-year average for production. So there should be a good fair number of young birds, jakes, out there this year. And then, of course, we had good production last year in most parts of the state. So you're going to see a lot of good 2-year-old populations out there as well.
Got a Patrick wanted to know when is a good time to use a gobble call?
So it's not something that I typically recommend, but it can be effective. And gobble calls are kind of one of those things that you kind of keep in your back pocket, so that maybe if you get a gobbler that hangs up and just won't come, sometimes that's the thing that'll trip their trigger enough to be a little more aggressive and come at you.
Mm-hmm.
I've in 40 some years of turkey hunting, I have never gobble called once, but I know people that have done it. And it's just one of those things that, when I grew up, we didn't recommend it for a safety issue. But it can be effective. I mean, it can be one of those things that just gets that gobbler over the edge, gets him worked up enough that he'll come when he doesn't want to come.
Well, I always tell everybody, if you're going to use it, you got to keep safety in mind. You certainly don't want to be walking around the timber shaking a gobble call. That's one thing you don't want to do. And
well, safety's always paramount. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're hen calling, you're using a decoy, you're setting up. You've always got to put your perspective of that you're not in the woods alone, and that you got to protect yourself. And then as the other hunter, you got to realize there could be another hunter in the woods as well. So
yeah.
Safety is always paramount.
Yeah, I use it as a last resort, like you did. If I got one hanging up, I'll do it. But I always just make sure I know what's in front of me, behind me, and just keep awareness at all times. Hey, Daniel, go ahead, Jim.
Well, I say traditionally gobble calls were used as a locator call.
Yeah.
That was the kind of thing you'd use at night when you're putting a bird to roost or something like that. But they can be effective in the hunting techniques as well.
Yeah. You know what I use for a locator? A crow or a peacock.
Yep. I grew up using a car door.
And that works too. Schwack. Go! Yeah. Let's see. Dan wants to know what percentage of turkeys are taken by predators annually.
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. So obviously, it's a predator-prey relationship, and when we look at determining what the predator is for gobblers, it's humans.
Yeah.
And in some states, it can be up to 50%. In some states, it's probably in the 15% range. From a day-to-day perspective, predators are not a big deal to turkeys until you get into the spring nesting season. And then you're looking at potentially losing up to 50% of your hens during that 60 to 90-day window when they're roosting nesting, laying on the ground versus roosting up in the trees. So predators are part of the equation. But from a day-to-day perspective, if you've got a marked bird out there, it's got about a 95% chance of living every day.
Okay. Did you see did you see the stories about all the coyotes coming into Des Moines and Waukee and everything?
I saw something on the news, but I have not had time to sit down and really digest it. But coyotes have been moving into urban areas for 15 to 20 years. There's been lots of great studies in Chicago and other big metropolitan areas, and obviously West Des Moines is no different. We've got some great bike trails and some great riparian areas, and they provide food. And so coyotes are going to go where there's food.
Yeah, a couple little pets got smacked on for sandwiches.
Yeah, well, you have to realize a little pet looks like a little rabbit. You
Yeah.
know, and sometimes little dogs need a little more attention.
Don't.
We kind of get complacent. We turn them out in the wild, or out in their backyard, thinking it's protected. And the coyote just sees that as another place to hunt.
Yeah.
And he sees a little fuzzy bunny out there, or whatever he thinks he can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's anything.
Yeah. Mark, Pastor Mark, my buddy down in Indiana, said they've got an abundance of 2-year-olds. They had a really good survival rate the last couple seasons.
I would agree with that. The upper Midwest in general has had, drought conditions tend to be good for turkeys, and we're in a 5-year drought cycle right now. Turkeys need some moisture and they need some humidity for laying eggs and incubating, but in general, drought conditions are better for turkeys. And one thing we see in the Midwest, too, is we usually see good spikes. We have good insect abundance in the springtime. So when we see grasshoppers coming on early, and when we see, especially the cicada cycle, you'll see a good bump in turkey populations.
Yeah, he said the cicada for year of 2021 was outstanding.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of food out there, huh?
It's what it boils down to, food habitat.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good morning, Hoyt. Good to see you. Hey, Jim, hang on. I got to take one more quick break. We come back. I'm going to talk about decoys and turkeys. Can we do that?
You bet.
All right. Don't let me forget to ask you about tail fans, all right?
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back on the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
Heading to your favorite outdoor spot? Is your hunting, fishing, or utility knife ready for any task? Well, if you used the original Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener before you left, you bet they are. The Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener is designed to sharpen every knife you own. By using changeable, flexible, abrasive belts, the sharpening system is able to sharpen a variety of knives, including curved and serrated knives, tonto blades, fillet knives, gut hooks, axes, and even kitchen knives. The Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener does this with precision angle sharpening guides and flexible abrasive belts to ensure the proper 20-degree angle every time. Each Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener is assembled in the USA.
There you go, Scott. You'll have some fun, buddy. That's a good thing.
So if you love the outdoors and depend on a sharp knife, consider checking out one of the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpeners, or the Work Sharp guided field sharpener at a store near you, or anytime at worksharptools.com.
Just Dave, I'm going to talk about all aspects of turkey hunting, buddy. I'm going to have the kids come out and let them run some calls if they got questions on calling or tips or anything like that, and then I'm going to let the kids draw for a Dave Smith hen decoy. I got 3 decoys to give away today.
Archery Field and Sports carries archery gear from Matthews, Hoyt, Bowtech, and Bear, plus
I'll ask him, Jerry.
Accessories you'll ever need. Mark and his staff are trained on all the latest tuning and setup techniques and are experts at personally fitting you to the bow you want. They also have a 40-yard indoor range that will help.
I'll be out there at 11 o'clock, Dave.
Archery Field and Sports has leagues and personal training sessions available for you to train for the upcoming seasons that'll help you fill your tags. Archery Field and Sports at East 56th.
Was going to do a whole seminar, but they didn't have a video projector, so I had a whole 25, 30-minute video presentation. Xed. All that editing, too. It's always something.
We've got a number of pre-owned golf carts in all types of price ranges, available with fancy wheels.
Man, I gotta quit waking up at 2:30. Crazy.
Check out our website for complete inventory at speedsgolfcars.com.
They're one of America's favorite fish to go after. Whether you call them old papermouth or a slab, folks love to chase after the tasty. And the folks at purecrappie.com are waiting to help you limit out your next fishing trip. Whether you dip, troll, or cast for them, purecrappie.com has the baits, tackle, and apparel every crappie angler will appreciate. So before you head to your favorite fishing hole, head on.
Morning, Tommy. Morning, Tim. Hoyt, I doubt if them hens are receptive yet. Don't worry about the weather. See, it's all done by the amount of daylight, not the weather.
One-stop outdoor shop. That's Sportsman's Warehouse. The Sportsman's Warehouse has everything you need from fishing, hunting, firearms, and camping gear.
Yeah, that's awesome, David. Good for you.
A success.
That's pretty cool.
Sportsman's Warehouse carries nationally known brands that have been tried and proven in the field.
Morning, Cody.
can't
smokers
pay,
and
it's
grills
illegal
that will
in
cook
Iowa
all your
to
meat
pass
easy
off
to
fake
prepare.
butter as real
Kayaks
butter.
and boat gear are also on hand to help you
It
find
is
more
actually a
fish when
law.
you go
Morning,
west.
Jed.
You cannot
Sportsman's
pass. It
Warehouse
has to be
has
called
all the
something like
footwear and
oil
clothing
margarine,
choices at
margarine,
great prices that will make
OLEO
sure you
margarine.
are outdoors
Who
in
cares?
comfort and
I
style.
thought that was
If you're
interesting.
traveling, you can also
You
go
can't
shop
sell
24/7
fake butter in
at
Iowa.
Yeah, you can't label it as butter. If it's not butter and they catch you, you can get in trouble.
Was the butter police going to be out there?
I don't know, but they're in. I think
Let's
in
talk about
Illinois
a
you
story,
cannot
an Iowa story
catch
about
a
a
fish with
dream
your
that
bare
took
hands.
several years to come
Where?
true in
I think it's
Osceola,
in
Iowa.
Illinois.
It's the story
No
of
noodling
Revelton
in
Distilling
Illinois,
Company.
huh?
These
Yeah,
fine
you
distilled
cannot grab it
whiskeys,
with. I mean,
gins, and
I don't know who's
vodkas
going to be
were
there to
born
watch
from the
you
labor of
catch
Rob and
that fish,
Christina Taylor.
but
It's
you
amazing
cannot
hearing the
catch it with your bare
customers'
hands.
descriptions of
You
how
also
unique
can't use
each bottle
dynamite.
looks and how each
Well,
spirit
that's
tastes and
pretty much
satisfies.
everywhere. You
Every
can't fish
sip,
with
from the
dynamite.
honey whiskey to the whiskey and cream, or the robust
That was
mulberry gin,
specifically in
American
there.
gin,
Like,
or vodka.
Yeah, they tend to frown on that
Distilling
one.
visitors can't believe the flavor profiles the mixologists are creating at the distillery every
so that
day.
fake butter you have lying around,
Wednesday through Sunday
stop
in
selling it
Osceola.
as real butter.
They're located at 1400
Mrs.
West
Butterworth
Clay
to be
Street.
knocking on your door.
Revelton Distillery fine spirits are also available at your local grocery
What was
and
that
other
butter that had
retailers
Mother
around
Nature?
Please
Land
check them
O'Lakes?
out
Was it
online
Yeah,
at
Land O'Lakes?
ReveltonDistillery.com or
Can't
visit
remember.
them at the distillery. If it's time to celebrate or just time to sit back and unwind, well, then it's time for a Revelton moment.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. My guest is Iowa DNR biologist Mr. Jim Coffey. We're talking turkeys this morning. So, Jim, decoys, is it true or is this a rumor that if you have a Tom or a Jake out there with a real tail fan and you can lower it or raise it, if you got a Tom coming around and you lower that fan, is that showing that he is not it's a subordinate bird? Do they really pay attention to that?
Well, there's some biology involved and some psychology involved with that moving tail fan, but in reality, that the movement is what the turkey's seeing.
Okay.
You're trying to attract that bird over to you. So yes, if two birds come together and there's going to be a confrontation and one, it's kind of like dogs. If one squats down, it's showing it's submissive. It's kind of giving up because it doesn't want to fight. It doesn't want to use that energy or potentially get injured. It's saying, yeah, I'm here. I'm another male, but we're not going to fight. You're bigger than I am. But usually from a hunting standpoint, people are using that fan to move up or down, not for the psychology, but for the movement to catch that bird's eye and to draw it over to see and to investigate.
I'm gonna have a gobbler steak from a live action decoys this year with a real tail fan. So I'm gonna be able to pop that string and pull that tail fan to full strut and then lower it, raise it, move it side to side. So if I got a Tom out there and if I pop that tail fan up a couple times, but if I think he's coming, should I lower it or just keep it up, or what do you think is going to be the best thing to do?
Well, when I talk about using decoys, you're using that decoy again to attract that bird.
Right.
And once he sees there's a bird there, you start pulling that fan up and down a lot. If he's a submissive bird, he's like, I'm not going to go over there.
Okay.
I don't want to get involved in something that's going to cause me injury. But what you're using that for usually is to catch the movement, that motion. Because turkeys can see 360 degrees. They can see 7 times better than we can. What we need them to know that we're there.
Okay.
And so that's what calling was for years. Is we called because we're trying to attract a bird to us, which is not the biology of the animal. Gobblers are not designed to come to hens. It's the opposite.
Right.
So when we use that decoy, it's to catch their eye, to get them to say, hey, there's other turkeys over there. I'm going to go over and hang out with my buddies and see what's going on.
Well, if I got a strutter out there with 4 or 5 hens, that's pretty much a boss Tom, right?
Well, you would think so, but
yeah.
There's always a chance that another male's going to come over and say, "Hey, today I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I could take those 4 hens away from you."
Okay.
Or it's turkeys, especially adult male turkeys, are a little like bass. if that's his ridge top and he looks over, there's another gobbler that he's not used to seeing. He's like, hey, wait a minute, this is my ridge top.
Okay.
I gotta come over there and tell you that you need to be moving on.
Well,
so there's a lot of psychology involved with it.
So this has got like a T handle on it. So if I got that pulled all the way back and the tail's up, it's got a little wooden stake down there. I can take that and jam it in the ground real quick and just leave it up. So what do you think? Should I leave it up or should I just go ahead and let it go down once I know I got his attention?
Yeah, again, it's the movement part of it. If that tail fan's up, they're looking for that circular shape.
Okay.
And if they see that, that's what's going to get them attracted and say, hey, those are males over there. And if he's a dominant male, he's going to say, I need to go investigate.
Okay. Well, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it up. I'm going to take that Dave Smith, that breeding hen decoy, the flat one.
Yep.
I'm going to put that in front of that stake, and then I'm going to have a feeding hen and a semi-alert hen. They got a new hen. Did you see their new hen decoy, that pruning hen?
Well, there's lots of different shapes and styles of hen decoys out there, and they're all mimicking different behaviors because you're trying to touch that gobbler's nerve of what mood he's in.
Yeah.
If he sees an alert hen, he's going to say, hey, they're over there looking at something. If he sees a hen that's in a crouch position, he's like, there's hens that are ready to breed over there.
Yeah.
And he's got to go and do his thing. But again, he really wants those hens to come to him.
Yeah.
So you have to push him over his comfort limit to come to you.
Well, you should, my wounded seal calling usually works okay. Yeah. Hey, I always tell everybody, Jim, I mean, we've known each other for a long time. I'm an average caller at best. I say it all the time, but you don't have to be a pro to get it to work.
No, if you've spent any time in the woods, and this is always a fun thing to talk to guys that turkey hunt for years, is the worst turkey caller in the world is a wild turkey hen.
Yeah.
None of them sound alike. They squeak and they cluck and they do weird things that you as a hunter would say, oh, I can't do that. That would scare a bird away. They're making all those noises.
Yeah. Morning, Tom. Good to see you, buddy.
The worst thing you can do as a hunter is move. Because, again, turkeys are designed to look at movement because that's how they survive. Is I always tell people in seminars, is a turkey says, you know what, I can go left or right. And if something doesn't look good to my left, I'm going right.
Yeah.
So if there's a movement over there that they don't feel comfortable with, they're going to go the opposite direction. That's how they survive day to day. So as a hunter, you really can't afford that extra hand movement or extra foot movement or whatever it is. That's what makes blinds so successful, is it hides your movement.
Well, I just can tell you from a filming aspect, I mean, I wouldn't be at 91 birds with a bow if I didn't have a ground blind trying to film because, I mean, I'm constantly having to move a little bit to move the camera or, get the focus where I need it to be. And those ground blinds, that's one of the best things out there, in my humble opinion.
Especially for inexperienced hunters that don't realize that movement is critical. A lot of people grew up now hunting with blinds, and when you get kids out, it's tough to keep kids still very long, and so blinds have been a game changer for people that they can't sit still for long periods of time.
Plus, it's awesome to take a nap in.
And they're warm, too. They absorb some heat. In springtime, sometimes you need that extra heat.
Yeah, about 9:15 when I start taking my nap until 10:30 when I hear them gobbles. There's two spots I go to here in Iowa, and it never fails. I'll hear them in the morning waking up. I'll hear those first tree calls. They'll fly down. I'll hear them do the fly down cackles, and then everything just gets quiet because they're doing they're strutting and they're doing their thing. And then
right. And that's a great observation because that's exactly right. That's the biology. There's no reason to gobble if I can see hens.
Yeah, so
now I'm putting my energy into letting them see me.
Yeah, so they're down there displaying, and I know what's going on. So I just pull the old hoodie up and just kick back and take a little nap. And about 9:30, I'll start hearing a gobble fly. 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then that's time to start doing my little calling because they're usually looking for some new opportunities about 10:30. That 10 to 2 window is, I've probably taken the majority of my birds between 10 and 2, Jim.
I would say that's probably a good observation. And most people have left the woods by that time because they got up at 4 o'clock and they're tired. They're ready to go home and get some other work done.
Well,
people often laugh at me, and I say that I say it every year in seminars, is the best part of turkey hunting is a nap.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. It's refreshing, and it's a good nap. It's a nap in the woods, and there's nothing else going on, so you just find a nice tree and face towards the sun and just curl up and take a little nap.
And nothing wakes you up faster than hearing that.
Yeah, you're never quite in a deep sleep, but yet you're getting a nice, relaxing, fresh breath of air.
Yeah, open up your Pop-Tarts, eat your breakfast, have some coffee, and just snuggle up and take you about a 25-minute nap. I don't know why people. I mean, some people have to go to work, and I understand that. But boy, I tell you what, if you can't hang out for more than 3 or 4 hours in a blind, don't go out there until 8:30, 9 o'clock, because you're missing some of the best hunting of the day.
Well, that's a great point to make, Dan, because we all have different cultures and the way that we've developed our turkey seasons. Iowa used to be one of those states that stopped at noon, like Missouri still does, and we decided, there's lots of people that have different work schedules and different opportunities, so we went to all day hunting, and there's a good contingency of people that like to hunt in the afternoon or in the evenings or 10 o'clock or whatever it is that don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But a lot of us started turkey hunting with that early morning gobble because we like to see the sunrise, we like to see the woods come alive, and it really is an exciting time of the day to be out there.
Yeah. Rodney, good morning. Jerry wants to know what's turkey numbers in Iowa, Jim?
Yeah, again, they've been real good the last couple of years, so it kind of depends on the part of the state you're hunting in, but most of our turkeys are located in the eastern two-thirds of the state, which is just habitat related with our timbers and stuff. But we have good turkey numbers in all 99 counties. So, yeah, I'd say you get out there, you're going to have a good chance of seeing some 2-year-old birds this year.
You know where I see a lot of birds at when I'm going out traveling? You get out there right before you get into Council Bluffs on 80, man. I always see a huge number of birds right in that track.
East Central Iowa's had really good production the last 2 years. They had the highest production in the state last year. That eastern, that Interstate 80 area along there has been good. And then when you get out western Iowa, of course, it helps that you can see a lot.
Yeah.
You got those big open fields and things like that. You can see long distances. Loess Hills are a wonderful place to hunt, especially for an Iowa hunter that doesn't travel to other states. It's a different experience altogether out there. So if you're looking to travel in-state, that would be a great place to go out and explore.
Yeah, I always see strutters when I'm going. I take 80 out to Kansas every year, and I mean, there's always strutters out there, and full strut, just full display, letting it go.
And they're nice and big and round and black and easy to see, and that's back to that biology of that bird is they're visible.
Yeah,
they want to be seen from a distance to attract those hens to them.
Yeah. Hey, what do you want me to tell the kids today at 11? I'm going to do a turkey camp at Sportsman's Warehouse this morning.
Yeah, I assume we're going to do a little calling out there and then just, tell them there's a lot. So what I love about turkey hunting is when we have a tag in our pocket, it's an excuse to go out and to be observers. And so there's a lot of downtime that you're not really doing much turkey hunting, but there's a lot of other things going on. And I love seeing the warblers migrate in the spring, and I always love hearing the woodcock when they're displaying. And so just be out in the woods and observe. And that's what makes you a better hunter and a better woodsman, is knowing what's going on around you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Boy, I out on central and western Kansas, I tell you, the pheasant numbers and the quail are just exploding out there. Did I tell you that?
Well, that's, again, a byproduct of really some of the drought weather conditions we've had.
Yeah.
Is you tend to get better reproduction in low moisture years.
Yeah.
And so, I wish we could control the weather better. All we can control at best is the habitat. And so we try to put the best habitat out there to give the birds the best they can. And then the weather, when all the stars align, we get good turkey numbers.
Well, we've had pretty good pheasant numbers here in Iowa the last couple of years. I mean, everybody's been pretty happy with the birds. So.
Yep, especially in northwest Iowa. Yeah, if you're a bird hunter, it's been pretty good the last few years.
Yeah. What are you doing today? Are you going out netting birds, or what are you doing?
I think we're kind of wrapped up on the turkey trapping. When it gets to this, the birds are pretty unpredictable right now. So we ended up with about 90 birds radio marked this spring that we'll be following through the nesting seasons and collecting some of that data. I'm going to do a little bit of in-house work today since we got some snow and rain coming. I'm going to go through my turkey supplies and get my calls tuned up and get my vest found. And still, I'm not doing it on the first morning like I usually do. Try to be a little more prepared this year.
Hey, we got Hoyt out in Virginia listening. He said that they tend to get a lot of hunting pressure out there and get overcalled to. What do you got any advice for them? How do you work a bird that's been overcalled to?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it really depends on the individual bird. We all like to call, and we all like to hear that bird gobble back to us, but sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to intrigue that bird. And if you've got a bird that's really, really been called to a lot, I keep it to the soft clucks, and then I just sit still. Because that bird, if he's adventurous, he's going to be looking for you, and he's going to be sneaking on you. And if he's sneaking on you and you're moving, you'll never see that bird. So I just kind of get hunkered down in one spot, make my little clucks and yelps every 20, 30 minutes, and just sit there as long as I can, and keep my eyes just peeled to the horizon, looking for movement.
David wants to know: do you guys ban turkeys?
Do we ban them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're radio marking birds, putting radio transmitters on them or GPS transmitters on them, every bird will get a leg band as well, and typically, we're only putting those GPSs on hens because that's what we're concerned about. But if we catch jakes or male birds in that trapping attempt, it'll get a leg band as well. And so it'll have a number on if people harvest one of those birds to call us back. And then we can look at where we trapped it and where the person shot it at, and we get some movement data from that.
What do we do if we shoot a banded tom?
Yeah, there'll be a number on there to call. You just call that in, and we'll take down your information, and you'll give us your closest location to where you shot it at. Then we can put that on the map and kind of figure out how far it traveled. And we won't have any points in between. We'll know where we caught it and where it died at. Whereas with the hens, we get about 96 locations a day on hens. So, turkeys don't travel in a straight line, and we can look at that. We look at the habitat they're using. We'll use it to figure out where they're nesting at, and then where they're moving their broods to.
Okay, that's awesome, Jim. Thanks for doing a full hour today. We got a ton of people watching us on Facebook Live this morning, so thanks for answering all the questions. And anything you want to tell the folks before I let you go?
It always goes fast, that's for sure. And I just want people to get outside and enjoy everything about the outdoors, especially in Iowa. It's a great place to live.
All right, thank you for all the help as always, and for doing a great job. And we'll talk soon.
Absolutely, Dan. You have a good day.
You too. Have a good rest of your weekend, Jim. There he goes, Jim Coffey, Iowa DNR biologist. I am late for a break. I'll be right back.
Hey guys, Outdoors Dan here.
Nice fellow right there. One of the best biologists. We got good biologists here in this country, and Jim is definitely one here in Iowa. I always enjoy talking with him.
If you haven't, let's talk a little bit about Chase Decals in Ames, Iowa, and what they can do for you. I just got my truck wrapped up at Chase Decals in Ames, and they did an amazing job. Josh, Bob, and the staff took the time to find out exactly what my needs were, what my goals were going to be, and they went to work designing a wrap that just pops off my ZR7. Now, wherever I go, folks will be talking about the Outdoor Call Radio Network. If you need help getting your message out or showing people what exactly your business does, I want you to pick up the phone and call Josh at 515-292-6466.
Well, David, I'll be there to talk to anybody if you got questions and stuff. It's just I was trying to do a little turkey camp for kids, for kids starting out, and I wanted to give the decoys. I mean, I'm always giving stuff out for the adults. I thought it'd be nice to give a kid their own DSD hen decoy. So that's what we're. But no, you can come out with. It's basically going to just be real casual. If you got questions, I'll answer questions for an hour, and just help out any which way I can. Like I said, I was going to do a full seminar. They just didn't have an audio projector or a visual projector to do the thing. So I'll just be me hanging out.
Capture more angles and shots like never before.
Was supposed to have Turkey Federation there, but never heard back from them.
Don't forget to take your Tacticam camera. You'll be able to.
Everybody's all gung ho, and then a couple weeks before the event, everybody just forgets.
So it's time to refill the tank. Where are you going for a great meal that won't break the bank? Well, why not fill up at Central Standard Restaurant in Waukee? There's more than great burgers and
Sorry, folks.
shakes waiting for you at Central Standard Restaurant. They specialize in great food like buttermilk fried chicken, smoked pulled pork, grilled salmon, or an Iowa pork.
I thought we got rid of this daylight stuff. I thought they banned it or whatever.
Well, it got to a certain the house,
the daily mac and cheese specials will bring a smile to any kid from 5 to 50. The shakes are just like Mom and Dad had back in
I
their
don't know
day.
what we need it for. I mean, with all the GPS stuff farmers got, and
with all the lights. I mean, they have brighter lights, headlights.
they run all night, you know.
Every time I go by and see a tractor out there in the dark doing, I'm like, well,
all they gotta do is plug it into the GPS. The combine drives itself.
Like, there's no other reason. That was the only reason why we did it.
In Waukee, Iowa. Just a short drive from anywhere. Central Standard Restaurant. The perfect place to
I don't know, man. I thought it was done last year.
I thought so too.
Chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy,
we
it's so
did not
delicious.
get all
the
the
perfect
way.
savory start to my day.
Hey,
I mean, who in the heck is in favor of
Chick-fil-A
that?
chicken biscuit is the
Well, they did it for farming practices back a long time ago.
But now that we have, like we were talking about, now that we have, they have brighter headlights than any
Start
car.
your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit.
Them fields get lit up.
I mean, there's no reason now why we need it.
If you're into the outdoors, whether it's camping,
Of all the
hunting, or
senseless
fishing,
things
you want
passed
your
in
camping setup
politics
to be
now,
easy
let's
and your stay as
do
comfortable
something
as
that
possible.
matters.
Campride has been helping folks enjoy the outdoors as problem-free as possible since 1999. Campride employees are outdoor enthusiasts that use and design each product to make sure your adventures are ones you'll want to remember. They carry great
Boy, the Deer Classic, man, I was busy. Sunday was a little slow, but Friday and Saturday were pretty good. Morning, Dan. Good to see you.
With the added protection of a tent. Campride features several models of tent cots units, including single and double units. They also specialize in sleeping bags, camping tables, cooking prep units, chairs, and other fine quality outdoor products. With over 17 years of field testing all these great outdoor gear products, Campride is the right choice to make your adventures comfortable and carefree. Check out all these Campride products at your local Sportsman's Warehouse store or on the web.
Gonna head to Kansas here in a couple weeks. I'm gonna start out in Kansas, come back and hunt. Good morning.
Fishing is something
Morning,
we look
Dirk.
forward to all week. We all want to be better at it and use the best gear available.
I'm a little tired this morning, buddy. I woke up at 2:30 for some stupid reason. Morning,
When
Ned.
it comes to sensitivity and longer casts,
You need to
Trica
live in a
has
world where
people
it's always
talking.
turkey
Trica
season.
rods are
Do
scientifically
I?
proven to be more sensitive
Your
with
body
unique
is not
weave design,
adjusted
as much as
to
2
normal.
times as sensitive as other costly
I don't know,
rod
it's just
brands.
weird.
Trica
You just
casting
need to get into
performance
like the
will
twilight
give you up to
zone and
26%
stay there
longer
when it's
cast to
turkey
keep
season
your
all the
bait
time.
in the
Yeah.
strike zone longer. Trica knows you work hard for your money.
I flexed some
Give you a rod that will cast longer
arrows yesterday, Dirk.
without putting the bite on your wallet. Trica rods are significantly less than
The Silent
other
Nights,
high-end
man.
rods available. They offer a 1-year, no questions asked guarantee. Trica rods can be returned for any reason up to 1 year after purchasing. They also come with a limited lifetime warranty. If you want to see what has anglers talking,
I've been old for a while, Dirk. Come on, man.
Trica.com. That's TRIKA.
I'm gonna start taking tryptophan at night or something.
On 1350 ESPN.
Yep. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio. Are we coming back to leave again?
A minute and a half.
I got a minute and a half. Iowa Bowhunters Dinner is going to be March 25th. Good day, Skippy Peterson, Gearhead Archery. What are you doing in Minnesota? It must be a show. Skippy's in Minnesota today. Our buddy Skippy P. Iowa Bowhunters has got their big 50th anniversary on the 25th. I will be out there as your humble MC. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the Bowhunters banquet. So come out and say hi. They always have a good meal and a lot of fun and awards and all that other fun stuff. So looking forward to that here in a couple weeks. Rick, when they had the Deer Classic at the Civic Center, it was packed. You couldn't walk. They really have a good show now. Well, Rick, they do. They got a great show. Wait till next year. Next year, Rick, it's even going to be extra busy.
Extra busy.
Because we're going to have a special guest in the booth. We're going to have Mr. Squatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bigfoot will make an appearance in the blind.
Just for you?
Just for us.
Good buddies.
Yeah. I got one of those. I'll show you when you come over next time. It's pretty funny. I won't tell you. All right, I gotta go. We'll be right back in like 2 minutes. It's a little short break, so we'll be right back. Hang on. We'll be right back on ESPN.
Hey, are you in the market for a new RV this year? Here's a place to help you start looking for that new travel partner for your next vacation or outdoor adventure. Head on over to the friendly folks at Imperial RV Center in Ankeny. Imperial RV has been serving Iowa camping enthusiasts for 50 years. They carry pull-behind or fifth-wheel RVs from Sprinter,
Just smelter, I
Hideout,
think.
Passport, and Alpine. They now carry SMC
I'm pretty
horse
sure
trailers
Joe's on.
that have built-in living quarters for rodeo and horse lovers. Imperial RV also features a full-service center.
Trying to think what I can ask for that gift certificate.
Imperial RV can finance on site to help you with all your financing needs. They also have a full-service parts.
Should I do a turkey question?
Keep your camper going.
Well, I don't have to do a turkey question.
I think so. I don't. I mean, you don't have to. But I think.
Please call
I'm going to do a Bigfoot question.
Oh, there you go.
I'm pulling the Bigfoot card. That's what I'm doing.
That's ImperialRVCenter.com. Imperial RV Center in Ankeny, making memories to last a lifetime.
That big buck has eluded you for seasons. You see his scrape line, but just can't figure him out. Have you heard of
Man,
pure
it's
whitetail?
dusty in here,
Pure
isn't it?
whitetail can help you see more deer and target
Dusty.
that buck that haunts you. Pure whitetail has some of the best deer scents you can rely on to work scrape lines or build mock scrapes that will help you see more deer. Pure whitetail's natural and synthetic products are developed straight off their farm. Scents like Bedded Up, Fixation, and Power Shot, to name a few. Scents are available in powder and liquid form to last longer on hanging branches or scrapes. Try the white.
Which toe on Bigfoot is the longest? Now, that is a great question, Dirk. I'm going to have to ask some people on that one, buddy. That's a good one.
PureWhitetail.com and check out all they have to offer. Scents, hunting gear, seed, grilling sauces, coffee, apparel, field staff opportunities, and family. Want to be more successful in the field? Go to PureWhitetail.com or look them up on Facebook.
Higgins.
If you love to hunt, join the Pure Whitetail family today.
For sure. Why is that not a good option?
I keep at him if it was me.
Well, now you flip-flopped on me. What? You have officially flip-flopped. The other day, you were like, you gotta go Higgins. He's gonna be a number one somewhere. You gotta go Higgins.
I don't think they're going to trade him now.
But what kind of quarterback are you gonna get in Oakland?
I have no idea. Jimmy Garoppolo, probably. That's probably where Garoppolo is going to end up.
Nah, don't do that to me. Now I don't know what to do.
You got 6 months to figure it out. It's not like you got to decide right now.
But now it's just like, what?
See, I don't have to worry about it because I got JJ.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You're set.
Please go check out their website at huntingworksforiowa.com.
KRNT Des Moines is 102.1 FM and 1350 ESPN. Des Moines sports leader. And that one's gone! A Des Moines radio group station.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines sports leader, 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to hour number 2 of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN out of Des Moines. Thanks to everybody watching us on Facebook Live this morning, and thanks for everybody listening to us all over the USA. Hour number 2 is brought to you by the fine folks at Elite Archery. If you've taken the shootability challenge yet, a lot of folks were ordering the Omnias and the Eras last weekend at the Iowa Deer Classic, and I'm going to be using the Omnia for spring turkey season first up. Oh, Dirk's on it, man. Bigfoot bash and stuff. Actually, Dirk, I already knew about that. My buddy Tobe Johnson's putting that thing on. That's gonna be. Well, maybe that's not South Dakota. Maybe that's a different deal, buddy. They got a Sasquatch thing going on in. It's either Oregon or Washington State. It's one of the things, but I'll have to look that up later. I'll talk about that on Wednesday night at 7 on the Unknown Files show. Morning, Roger, out there in New York. Roger Dodger. So, anyway, have you taken a shootability challenge? If you haven't, I encourage you to do that. Omnia is a great bow if you're looking for something with a little giddy up. I'm going out to Dirk's place this fall We're going to go speed goat hunting, either Larry Mack or Ryan or Paul or I. And we're going to go film an episode of Respect the Game TV. And I'm going to take my Omni out there because it's going to have a little more giddy up than my Envision in case I need to take a little longer shot. When you hunt out west, a 40, 45, 50-yard shot's not uncommon. So you want a little more giddy up in your setup. So that Omnia is a great choice. The Era, if you're looking for a carbon bow, it's one of the it's the bow of the year. It was just named the bow of the year, the Elite Era. If you haven't seen that, go out to Archery Field and Sports or an Elite dealer near you. And I'll tell you what, those new SP cams they just rock. Go check them out, and you'll see what all the fuss is about. So, got a lot of compliments on the Era and the Omnia this week. All right, here's what I'm going to do. There are several other names for Bigfoot and Sasquatch, however you want to say it, okay? I've got one name I'm writing down. I'm going to write this down. And I got it right here. And if you want to call 244-1350, 515-244-1350. Andrew, you see the circle? Can you read that?
Yes.
All right, that's the winner. Do you know what that is? Call me, and we will let you take a shot for that $50 gift card to Fourth Arrow. My buddy Dirk Stark. Dirk's got a lot of things going in the outdoor community. One of them is Silent Night Veins, and Larry Mack and I are going to be fletching those up and shooting those turkey season this year, so we're excited about that. My buddy Mr. Christensen, Darren Christianberry, Christian, where'd that come from? It's Christian. It's Christenberry. Take the T out of it. Darren Christenberry.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Nathan Brooks and Darren Christenberry, we do a show every Monday called Hunting for X's. Nathan and Darren are some of the best pro shooters out there. Super nice guys, but Darren is a big Silent Night fan, and he was telling me about them, and we're going to take advantage of that. We can't wait. So, Dirk, I've already got one arrow, and I've shot it, and it flies great, so I'm looking forward to filling the old quiver up. So, all right, 244-1350 if you want to call in and take a shot and look for a name for what we're looking for Bigfoot. So, yeah, there you go. All right, new shows on the app. We got the Crappie Connection, which is on Tuesday. That's a really well listened to show. If you're looking for some crappie tips, and this is the year to do that, you want to tune in on Tuesdays on the Outdoor Call Radio app. Warden Watch, that is a great show if you want to learn and listen to what some of the game wardens around the country get to experience, and that's awesome. And also, I don't know what I'm even saying. Also, what's also? That is also a great show for you to listen to. Got a new weapons and guns show called the Victory Drive Pod. That's on Thursdays. And, of course, Unknown Files is on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So if you like the unknown, that's a great show for you to listen to as well. Let me do the Sportsman's Warehouse fishing reports here real quick. Black Hawk Lake, ice fishing is not recommended. Town Bay is opening up. The Walleye Fair open water anglers are using jigs and crankbaits in Town Bay fishing from shore. Brushy Creek, ice fishing is not recommended. The pockets of open water, any ice remaining is unsafe. Don't go on the ice. Really?
Rick wants to see if he wants to try and guess.
Oh, well, let's go say hi to Rick.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Hello, Rick.
Hey, Dan, how's it going this morning?
It's going. You got a guess for me?
I already guessed Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Yeti.
You just called and started rattling off names?
I did.
You can't do that. You get one shot per call.
I guessed Yeti, and he said, well, just hang on, he'll put you on the air.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, eh.
Okay.
It's not any one of those. I told you, it's not Bigfoot or Sasquatch.
I know.
Yeah. And Yeti is actually a subspecies of hominid. That's a different critter.
That's the Himalayan one.
Yeah, they got a little shorter foot.
Slob squatch. blob squatch.
Yeah. Okay, now the wife's chiming in. You get one shot per call.
Oh, okay.
Come on, guys. You know?
Making me look bad here.
Yeah. Call back. You can call back, Rick.
Awesome, Dan. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Thank you, buddy. So we know it's not Bigfoot, Squatch, or Yeti. I have no idea what Mrs. Rick said, but
Mrs. Rick.
Mrs. Rick. I heard something wah 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 something. I don't know what.
Wah,
She's awesome, by the way. She's actually she just started listening to the show. She loves the show.
Oh, and guys, gotta love that. Obviously, Rick's a heck of a person too.
Oh, Rick and Patrick, yeah, good guys. We met them at the class.
Really cool.
They love the new show.
Yeah. Down to earth people.
Yeah, they always like the regular hunting and fishing show. I had Kurt at Working Class Bow Hunter say, "We're losing you, aren't we? You're just going Bigfoot all the time, aren't you?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm a diehard bow hunter, man. That's not going to change. I'm still going to do the, I just like doing this new show. That's all. It's it's like when you get a new car. It's your thing to drive for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Until gas goes up.
Yeah. All right. 244-1350. If you want to take another name for Bigfoot, and I'll give you a hint. It's in North America. Okay. It's in the U.S. Okay. It's another name for Bigfoot in the U.S. Yeah. And don't say swamp donkey. I don't want to hear swamp donkey because that's something totally different. Let's see. Storm Lake, ice fishing is unsafe. They're still catching some nice fish in and around the open areas of ice, jig, and minnow combinations are working good. Clear at 244-1350, Steve. 515-244-1350. It's for a $50 gift card. It's a nice gift. That's a nice prize, man.
Take it.
Yeah. Clear Lake, blue crappie bite is fair using small minnows near vegetation and 6 to 8 feet of water. Gills are fair. Try using small jigs tipped with spikes in 2 to 4 feet of water. Best bite is early morning or near sunset. Walleye is slow. Jigging spoons tipped with a minnow head in 6 to 8 feet of water. Yellow bass are fair. All you got to do is Google. You can Google names for Bigfoot. I'm not opposed to a little Google search here and there. Have you heard of the name I gave you? Have you ever heard that name uttered?
I've heard of it. It hasn't been. I haven't heard it uttered often, but I've heard it.
It's specific to a region in the U.S.
And I get that.
Morning, Susan.
Yeah, for me, it's always been more of the common names, but.
Well, and it's not Daryl. It's not Daryl. I can tell you that right now. Don't call in and say Daryl. It's not Daryl. Okay, come on. Yellow bass are fair. Yellow perch are good. West Okoboji, the walleye season is closed. Black crappie bite is fair. Try small jigs tipped with a minnow. Bluegill bite is fair. Use tube jigs, plastics, and other small jigs. Yellow perch are fair. Small jigs tipped with a minnow is a good presentation to try. Some sorting may be needed. Yeah. Hey, got to make it entertaining and educational. Trust me, if once you hear the name, you'll never forget it. See? And then next time you're in a trivia contest about Bigfoot, you're gonna have an ace in the hole. See? Lake Meyer to Gilboa, bluegills are biting good on jigs tipped with a waxworm or spike. Crappie bite is fair. They're sorting fish about 9 to 10 inches. Vogel Lake, black crappie bite is good. Gills are fair. 12-mile, largemouth bass is slow. Bass of all sizes fishing with finesse plastics along the rocky shorelines to catch some fish. Who's up first? Let's go see what Dusty's up to this morning. Morning, Dusty.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, buddy. You got an answer for me?
Sasquatch?
Well, I already told you it wasn't Bigfoot or Sasquatch.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, and it's not Yeti, and it's not Daryl.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll give you one more shot since Rick took like 4 in a row real quick.
Jeez.
It's specific to an area in the country.
Can't think of it.
That's all right. I appreciate you calling. You can always call back, okay?
You bet. Have a
Hey,
good morning.
Dusty, just Google names for Sasquatch or Bigfoot around the country.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Let's go see who's next. We got who?
Steve.
Let's go see what Steve is up to. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
You good? You feeling squatchy?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? What do you got?
Yowie.
You know, that is a good guess, but that's not the one I'm looking for. But that is another name for Bigfoot. That's a great guess.
Good guess. Really good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you. Call back. You can call back.
Okay.
I'll give one more hint out. See, I hate giving hints because I give too good of hints. Everybody
you
always.
You got to work on your hint giving.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll give you a hint. Okay.
Have Jenny help you. Maybe she's better at hint giving than you are.
Okay. In the South, it's called the swamp ape. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. In Illinois, they called him the mud monster. That's not what I'm looking for.
Can you get your name quick?
I will say this: it's a nick.
Say that
It's one of the names they call him around central United States. Okay. See, now that's a good hint, but I didn't give it away. I think. So you know it's not. Is it Patrick? Rick, that's mean, Rick. Oh, come on, man. That's his buddy.
Can they get your name?
Yeah, that's it. All right. Spring community trout stocking starts March 23rd. DNR is going to release around 1,000 to 2,000 more rainbow trout in 13 lakes across Iowa in March and April as part of its cool weather trout program. Trout stockings are a great place to take kids to catch their first fish. Who do you got?
Jim is first.
Let's go see what Jim is up to this morning. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up, man?
I think it's a skunk ape.
I just said it.
Well, to his
I
credit,
was on, I didn't hear you.
to his credit, he was on.
Oh,
he was
okay.
on with us.
Yeah,
so that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good answer, but it's not skunk ape or swamp ape.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's not because that's more down. Well, you know,
Specific area.
huh?
A specific area.
Well, they call them that down like in Florida and all that, Georgia. But I think they also called them the skunk ape around Arkansas, didn't they? Was it that? Isn't that what they called the Legend of Boggy Creek guy, the skunk ape?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah. Google Central U.S. name for Bigfoot.
The Momo.
Momo was in Missouri. Did you know that?
Google does.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm up on this Bigfoot stuff. I've had to do so much research in the last 3 months to do this new show. I'm telling you, man, I'm surprised we don't have squatchy cereal or something. You know, that would be a great cereal. Little oats and rice, Bigfoot feet, you know, to put on for breakfast.
have some dirt thrown in.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurial opportunity for you, Dan.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jim. If I had the money, man, I got $1 million ideas. I'm just telling you. Yeah, Jim, you can call back, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. All right, do you have another person there?
Tim.
Let's see what Tim's up to this morning. Tim, good morning, Tim.
Hey, Dan.
What are you thinking?
Well, I thought I was trying skunk ape, but I was on hold there, so I think I missed out on that one. So
That's all right. You want to take another shot?
I don't have any other. I'm trying to. The abdominal snowman. I don't know.
Well, no, that's another name for the Yeti.
Yeah.
The Yeti. The Yeti. The Yeti.
All
right, I'm going to give another clue, I guess. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to give a more definitive clue because I want somebody to win this. And hey, everybody that's called in has had some great answers. I'm telling you, you're all doing great. I didn't think this was going to be that hard, but I guess it is hard. I guess not everybody's reading about Bigfoot in their 50s like I am. So anyway, let me take a real quick break, and when we come back, I'll give one more clue, and we'll see if we can get this $50 gift card to Fourth Arrow out. So we'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
So,
Either not sleeping or
I have some ideas for hoodies.
suffer, and you can get help to relax.
It wasn't Florida, Brad.
Number one is a U.S.-based company that is helping folks reduce.
Good morning, Todd.
I've been using
Todd's down there hunting hogs. Good for you, buddy.
on my knee and back, and I've seen incredible
we're
results
in
in pain relief.
We just got
It's
into a
also
break
helping
now, so
me to
give us
stop
about
having to take other medications that can cause me
about 4
stomach
minutes, and
issues
then
to
we'll
get
be right to
relief.
you.
Emperor One offers lotions, drops, gummies, and other CBD products.
Gosh, if I give another clue, it's gonna give it away, man. I'm just telling you. I give too good of clues.
Well, you got it. Yeah. Well,
They will just help you start feeling.
at least they started to narrow it down that last.
So if you're looking.
Oh, they've came up. Yowie, man. I'm shocked that that one came out.
At
That
some point.
yeah. I know a divorced guy that's called his wife Bigfoot. Yeah, probably not advisable, Rick.
Hello, this is Dave from JLM Shooter Supply.
Morning, honey. Boy, you look squatchy this morning. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing to say to the wife.
That's probably why it's.
We carry new and used firearms for all shooting disciplines, from self-defense to shooting enthusiasts, as well as folks who like to hunt. We have recently expanded our store to better serve your needs. We still accept trades on all types of guns. We'll also look at any firearm.
I would just like to see one. I just think that would be cooler. You know, you're sitting out there in a tree stand or in a ground blind, or you're out west elk hunting, and just sitting there, and all of a sudden something stands up or walks. I would just like to see it.
So from ammo and hearing
Yeah, Wikipedia's not much help, Brad.
we handle it all at JLM.
Brad, I'm telling you, Google names for Bigfoot in central U.S.
Or call us at 515.
And you already know with the ones that ain't, it's got to be right there.
331-1577.
Boom, boom, boom.
We all want the deadliest broadheads out there. Have you tried a slick trick? Slick tricks are one of the most accurate and deadliest broadheads.
Oh man, I was reading something about Alaska last night. Have you guys ever heard? There was a guy in the 50s. I can't remember his name now. Gosh darn it! He was a prolific bear guide, grizzlies, and he was out doing scouting for grizzlies. And there was a hunter that didn't want to have a guide. Well, the guide came across the guy's remains with a bear. His rifle was smashed. It fired one round. A spent cartridge was in the chamber. He killed the bear, but the bear killed him, and all that was left was bones. Because nobody knew what happened to the guy. I'm telling you what, man. Grizzlies are nothing to mess around with.
Did you hear the news?
He killed the bear, but the bear got him too. You gotta remember, the grizzly bear, they got claws this big. They're like knives, you know. And then things are 1,000-pound animals, man. They rip you in half. I always wanted to get one with my bow, but I've waned from that as I've gotten older. I thought that'd be so cool to get one with my bow. I want a moose. If I get a moose and a caribou, I'll be happy whitetail hunting the rest of my years. I can't wait to get me a... Morning, Davey. Oh, babe, my buck looks great, Dave. Thank you. Got him all hung up. I'm hoping to get a nice goat out of Dirks this fall. I've only shot 2 antelope in my life, but boy, they're good eating.
As we head to the fields this hunting season, you need to remember to
I like to get a big old burly antelope going.
Day and expect them to perform without having any previous exercise. Remember to have a proper first aid kit for your pet when you go into the field. That should include bandage.
Russ? So should I take Russ's question before I give the next hint? I should probably do that.
Plus a muzzle. Even friendly dogs will
might not have to give a hint. Maybe Russ has got it.
all vaccines before
Did he drop?
Your pet should also have a good physical exam to make sure
Morning,
he's
Clint.
healthy enough to go hunting. Always provide your pet with protection from the elements, and this includes a high-quality pet carrier for trips, a blaze orange hunting vest, which makes your pet more visible and provides protection from the bush as he or she runs through. Be careful and have fun. Remember, this is what most of our dogs were born to do. This message has been brought to you by Dr. Steve from Westfield Veterinary Hospital. For questions about keeping your pet healthy, contact Dr. Steve by phone at 515-980-65-PET. Westfield Veterinary Hospital, for the life of your pet.
You're listening to the Outdoor
no problem.
Call Radio.
That's always a good thing.
1350 ESPN.
I will let you. Hold on, let me put you. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Caller Radio on 1350 ESPN. The show is brought to you in part by good friends out at Herman's Fine Jewelers, 2900 University
in West Des Moines. Probably won't find Bigfoot out there, but you're going to find some big savings on diamonds, mountings, and all that other fine stuff. You can get custom jewelry made. You can get jewelry repair. You can just find anything and everything you would ever want out there with Donnie and Frank at Herman's Fine Jewelers. Also, if you got some treasure laying around, you need to go on a Bigfoot adventure, and you got jewelry laying around and you just don't use anymore, take it out there to Herman's. Chances are you're going to get more for your treasure than you will anywhere else for that Bigfoot expedition, because Herman's has been helping folks for over 35 years here in Central Iowa. Go check them out, 2900 University in West Des Moines, and tell them the Outdoor Guy sent you. I know they're good folks. I always go out there. All right, let's see who's first.
Tim.
Let's go say hi to Tim real quick. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, Dan.
You got another guess?
With Tico?
It's not Matiko, but that's a good guess. You should have waited till I gave the clue.
All right.
All right. Hey, you can call back though, okay?
Yep.
All right. There goes Tim. That's a good. That's another rare one. Who's up next?
Yeah, Rick.
Rick.
Make sure.
Is it Rick, the 4-shot seeker? Yeah. What do you got for me now, Rick?
We're very persistent this morning, Dan.
Uh-huh.
Is it Grassman?
It is the Ohio Grassman, Rick. That's the one I was looking for. Congratulations.
Make sure he stays online.
Yeah, don't hang up. Andrew's got to get your information.
All right, thanks, brother.
My next clue was going to be this nickname is where the home of Pure Whitetail is at, which they're based in Ohio. So, congratulations, Rick.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. All right, Rick got it. There you go. The Ohio Grassman. That's exciting. That was fun. See? Everybody's up on their Squatchy stuff this morning now. Let's see. Trout program. Popular program supported by the sales of the trout fee. Anglers will need a valid fishing license and pay the trout fee to possess the trout. Daily limit is 5 trout per licensed angler with a possession limit of 10. Children aged 15 and younger can fish for a trout with a properly licensed adult, but they must limit their catch to 1 daily fish a day. The child can buy a trout fee, which allows them to catch their own limit. Once you buy a trout fee, you can fish for trout all year long at any of the community trout lakes and streams in northeast Iowa. So there you go. That's exciting. How about that? That's a good thing. All right, let's talk decoys for a second. I've had a lot of questions this week about how many decoys I use, what do I recommend, and I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios: one for gun hunting, one for bow hunting. Myself, I always use at least 3 decoys. I use a Jake or a Tom and 2 hens. Now, if I'm like that, a live action decoy, that Tom stake that I'm going to be using this year, I'm going to actually use 3 hens, and that stake I'm going to use a feeding hen, either an alert hen or a pruning hen. I haven't got the pruning hen yet from DSD. I'm waiting on that. But and then I'm going to use a lay down hen, so she's laying down in a breeding position. So those are going to be my setups for my bow hunting. I try to keep those decoys at 10 to 12 yards because that's my preferred shot with a bow. You got to remember, a turkey's vital area is about the size of a softball. So you got a real small area that you don't have a lot of room for error. So at 10 to 12 yards, you're going to be in the money right there with your bow. If you're shotgun hunting, it really depends on your comfort level as far as shooting, but usually 20, 25 yards is where I usually put my decoys out. You got a little more room for error with a shotgun because you're shooting them with a gun. Just the best advice I can give you for a shotgun hunter is get out there and pattern your gun with the loads that you are going to hunt with. You want to get out there, shoot 2 or 3 times, and make sure you know where your pattern is. And then if you do that, you should be good to go. And that's that. Morning, Kyle. Thanks for watching this morning. That should be pretty good. But 20, 25 yards for gun hunting's money. I mean, you'll be fine with that. So. And I know I got some friends of mine that are, they're looking at 40, 45, 50-yard shots with the TSS loads and stuff like that. But I'm just talking about a person with a 3-inch regular 12 gauge or 20 gauge. 25 yards, you should be in the money. That's exactly how I do it also for bow hunting. Well, thank you, Clint. I appreciate that.
Somebody believes in me. That's exciting. All right, 8:28 and some change. Let me hit a quick break. I'll be right back on 1350 ESPN. You're heading out on your morning hunt well before sunrise, so you can stay undetected from that giant you've been chasing all season. Wouldn't it be nice to know exactly where your stand or blind location is without letting anyone know? You know what I should have said is, what color phase are Bigfoot this time of year? Onyx is one of the most important pieces of hunting gear that you can use and always have. That would have got me in trouble, probably. Well, how do you know they're brown or yellow or orange or whatever? It also allows you to mark and save. According to biologists. There's no biologist saying that. Possible next stand locations. That would have got me in trouble. Hunt app is also a great way to see your property and know where you stand. Onyx is a mobile app that you can take anywhere. It's recognized. See if Smelter is working today. All around the country as a valuable hunting tool. So, if you want to always know where you are and have the ability to save information that will help you be a better hunter, go download the Onyx Hunt app at your app store today.
In these times when a lot of us are working from home, it's even more important to make sure your home is the right temperature and comfortable. Now is a great time to call the experts at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling at 287-6000 to schedule a check on your current heating and cooling systems. Is your house too dry and giving your family issues? A Honeywell dehumidifier system installed with your AC heating system can solve that issue right away. Wyckoff Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated business that has been serving Iowa residents and businesses for over 70 years. They offer 24-hour service and programs like the Peace of Mind Plan for less than $50.
Morning, Tim.
So if you want more time on the water or in the woods this year, please call the folks at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for any of your home or business heating and cooling needs. One call to Wyckoff Heating and Cooling will bring you peace of mind under your roof every day.
Hey students, are you into shooting sports? Well, if you are, have you ever thought about using your passion to help you through college? Grandview University is a small private college that is looking for students who have a passion for the shooting sports and learning. Grandview University has a shooting sports program that, if you qualify, will give you a guaranteed rate for your whole education while on the shooting team. That means your cost won't go up. You will get to experience a new level of competition and learn in a small class size with the feel of a larger campus with a...
Did you guys see the Bears made a big trade yesterday? If you're a Bears fan, I know my taxidermist did. He's a big Bears fan. They got DJ Moore and 4 draft picks for the #1 draft pick this year to the Carolina Panthers. What do you want to bet Carolina's taking a quarterback?
For more information, check them out at gvvikings.com.
I bet they regret getting rid of
What is going
McCaffrey.
on over at Scott Archery, man? Social media is blowing
I bet
up
they
on
regret
these new
getting rid of
releases.
McCaffrey.
Can you tell me about the new S2 Select and Apex Core?
What did they get out of it?
Yeah, we are super
Draft
excited
picks.
about these 3 releases. We'll start with the Apex Core. The Apex Core is a closed hook design where the Apex was an open hook design. It also has a finger hole. So for extra grip, and also with the closed hook, you can leave it hung on your deloop.
I knew. Oh, Davey. Big move, Super Bowl in 2 years for the Bears, he says. He's my taxidermist. What am I going to say? Okay, Dave. You got to support your taxidermist.
Select is a back tension offering that has grooves in the handle to eliminate any slipping. It also comes with 2 moves, so you can fine-tune adjust to get the shot to break whenever you want.
I don't know about 2 years, Dave.
Down at my Scott Archery dealer and check these out. If you want more,
I hope so, for your sake. That just means the Chiefs will beat them.
Well, you've done your homework, and now the time is getting close. One thing after you...
I'm a little worried about my Chiefies. They let Frank go, or what's his name, and Brown. They lost some meat. Frank Clark's gone. They let Frank Clark go, and what's that? O.J. Brown.
In the fact that they do everyone's order the way the customer wants it. You can have your deer, moose, elk, or even bear processed and hand wrapped, cut to your
I don't know. I got my Vikings, which are never probably going to go to the Super Bowl in my lifetime.
summer sausage.
But I love Justin
with all
Jefferson.
sorts of cheese and spice
And then we got
combinations.
Mahomie. I love my Mahomie.
Each year at the Milo Locker,
My
they give
Chiefy.
each order like it was their own.
Yeah.
So if you get lucky this year and need a good locker,
They're
try the
the
Milo
new
Locker.
dynasty.
Check them out today.
I bet I wouldn't shock me if the Chiefs went running back.
6231, and you're on your way to some great eating.
Yeah.
I bet you Clyde Edwards-Helaire's gone.
We know that protecting
Gone.
your
He
family's
gone.
financial future is a priority, and life insurance is an easy way to help make
Their
that
MO
happen.
is
You'll
keeping the
feel
running
good knowing
back
you've taken
price
steps
tag
to
down.
protect what matters most. If
Yeah,
you
they
have
just
that
haven't had a
insurance,
dominant running
it's
back
often
since
more
Priest
affordable
Holmes
than you
or
think.
Jamal
Let's talk about
Charles or.
options that fit you.
I mean,
Contact Darren
but
Eiler,
it's
agent
worked.
at
Well, no,
515-964-7575.
they've been in the Super Bowl what three times in the last 4 years.
American Family Life Insurance Company,
And they've
6000
won
American
two.
Parkway, Madison,
Won two.
Wisconsin.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
Well, according to my taxidermist, Mr. Dave Jones, at Jones Brothers Taxidermy in Mitchellville, Iowa, the Bears will be in the Super Bowl in 2 years. Now, as a bow hunter, I have a creed that I have to live by. And a lot of you follow the same creed as this. You support your taxidermist. You support them 100%. When they say something, you have their six. So if my taxidermist, Dave Jones at Mitchell Brothers, or Jones Brothers Taxidermy in Mitchellville, Iowa. I'll get it right sooner or later. Jones Brothers Taxidermy in Mitchellville, Iowa says that the Bears will be in the Super Bowl in 2 years. I say, amen, brother. I have your six.
Well, the rest of us will say, keep dreaming. Dream on. There's a song just for you. Dream on.
Dave says, if not, you're going to get a cross-eyed deer back. That's not funny, Dave. You don't make fun. You don't say that about people's deer and stuff, man. I mean, you can say I'm fat or gray or whatever, but don't you talk about my deer. I got to get one first. Yeah. I tell you, man, don't want to tick your taxidermist off. You'll get something with buck teeth and cross-eyes, and your antlers. Yeah, Tony says, yeah, right, Dan. Tony, don't you disagree with my taxidermist, Tony? Don't you do that. Tony sent me a really nice picture of some toms this week.
That's good.
Yeah, it was. He got some strutters on video.
Amen.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I just know one thing, Andrew. I can't wait for I love my wife and my dog and my kids.
But number one,
I love and I love Larry Mack. And Ryan and Paul on Respect the Game. I love the boys. But, I just, I love my mom and my brother. I love God. God's first, right? God, then everything else.
God, then fancy.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't think I'm ever as happy as I am when it's deer season or elk, if I'm going to go chase elk or antelope or whatever in the fall and it's fantasy football time. I'm really happy.
Yeah, and about now you're kind of just sitting there, what do I do?
Well, it's just, it's like it's going to take forever. It's like deer season, man. It takes forever to get here and then it's over. You go to sleep, you wake up one morning, it's deer season, you go to sleep and it's over.
Yeah.
Wake up the next day, it's over.
Oh, yeah?
And as well as, I love it because I love making trades and,
yeah,
I mean, Andrew, nobody, I defy anybody that makes as many trades or acquisitions and still gets to almost the Super Bowl every year as I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Andrew won the league last year. It's a miracle, but he did.
It's a chance. No, it was
a
strategic planning.
It was
win.
A miracle.
I mean, I was team first place for a reason.
If Breece Hall and Javonte Williams. And who else did I lose?
All is saying if and buts and candy.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have lost, and then Jalen Hurts got the week of the playoffs, my quarterback goes down. That's the only reason I didn't win the league this year. I still got fourth even with all my injuries. Sure. Ryan from our Respect the Game beat me in the playoffs.
As he should.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoy your win, because it'll be 10 years before you win again.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Team first place will strike again.
Jeff, you have team first place. Jeff, have a good weekend too, buddy. Thank you. Smoking Joe Smelter apparently is waiting on a customer or something because he's not answering our call. So I'll portray Joe this week on the Outdoor Call Radio.
Another round of Dan Impersonates Joe.
Yeah. All right, everybody, let's head back over to the phones. It's time to check in with our buddy over at Carl Chevrolet, Smoking Joe Smelter. Joe, what's going on? Well, Dan, it's a weekend here at the Rock, Carl Chevrolet. I mean, we got specials going on, and everything's just fantastic.
Whoa, Joe! You seem to have gone from a mobster to I don't know.
No, I can't do. Joe's not a mobster.
Well, you started as a mobster, like that.
No, it's kind of like my Jack Nicholson. Joe. Now you got me muddled up. Now,
no, you
don't interrupt me. And I'm
going into this weird path. You're starting to get all Dutch on me, and then.
So, Joe, what's going on at the Rock today? Well, Dan, we got now. I'm gonna go back. I guess I'll start doing my Sean Connery.
Keep with that.
Yeah. We're going to go, when you come back to the Rock, Don, we do everything we can to make sure that your experience is like a secret agent. We want to make sure you're in and out and you get the experience of a lifetime at the Rock at Carl Chevrolet. Well, I like that Sean Connery, Joe. Yeah, this is all went to heck, man. I can't even stay on track now because you got me all messed up.
That was a train that was derailing fast. And that was fun to watch.
So if you're in the mood for a new truck, or a new truck just newer to you, go see my friend Smoking Joe Smelter, Carl Chevrolet. He will always give you the best price available. You'll get the most for your trade-in and great service after the sale. It's all right there for you at Carl Chevrolet off Oral Labor Road. Smoking Joe Smelter will take great care of you. Travis, good morning.
You're out of beer.
Do you have 0% financing? Jerry, I don't know if they have 0 because he didn't tell me the incentives. We can see your lips moving.
Black and white, clear as crystal.
I will tell you the only thing that I can tell you on 0% financing. If you wait until I buy a vehicle, within 30 days, there will be 0% financing after I buy.
Wrong, sir.
No, I'm right. Every vehicle I have bought, I've gotten 0% financing one time. Every time within 30 days of me signing the papers, and I get a great deal, I'm not complaining, there's 0% financing. Yeah. Well, Dan, that's like Miss Moneypenny always said. You got to keep it in the office. That's a horrible Sean Connery.
See, I don't know.
I used to be able to do Sean Connery. I can't do him anymore. Sean Connery.
You gotta get that Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery. And didn't I do like a surfer dude or something?
Yeah, you did the.
What's up, Dan? We got some great bombastic shavings guys. See?
You sound like a surfer of a COPD or something.
A surfer on what? On what?
You sound like it's a chain smoker.
Yeah.
You were also starting to go from Sean Connery into the Swedish Chef.
I don't do the Swedish Chef.
Well, you were getting there. You were getting there.
Yeah, was I? Yeah, I could do Yoda.
Yeah, you should just stick with Yoda all the time.
Yeah, I could do Fozzie Bear. Waka waka waka.
0%. I can't even do that.
What was that?
I can't do I can't do waka waka.
Waka waka waka. No. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
And 0% finance.
And 0% financing at Carl Chevrolet.
You should do their commercials.
Yeah. I can always do Yoda.
Yeah. Get a good 5 voices down.
Well, I used to be able to do Sean Connery, but for some reason, I can't do him now.
That Swedish Chef keeps bumping in there.
Sean Connery.
There you go.
Sean Connery. At the Rock, at Oral Labor Road. We get you 0% financing when we can. It's not secret.
Now you're going into like this Russian spy?
What are you talking about? Sean Connery.
Going into
St. Patrick's Day is coming up, man. You know, I'd be telling you about my grandfather back in the old days in Ireland. He'd be going to the trout streams and he'd be fishing. And he'd say, "Grandfather, what you doing at the streams? You know, you mean you go into Carl Chevrolet and go into the Rock to get you a new deal? Ah, laddie, there will be a time I go to Carl Chevrolet and see Smokin' Joe Smeltzer and get me a good deal on a truck. But I tell you, son, it's just not in the old. It's just not in the old cottage funds right now, son. You know, lad, I gotta tell you, when I'm out saving my money for my trout tackle at Sportsman's, it's right across from Carl Chevrolet. And I gotta tell you, lad, when I got my truck and I pull my trout gear in and I go down to the stream, and I look at the leprechauns and I say, "Are you gonna give me a nice trout today, my line fine little friends?" They always say, "Yes, Grant. We're gonna take care of you because we know that your Irish is always going to come through here on the Outdoor Call Radio Show."
That was good.
Yeah.
Add it to the arsenal.
Yeah, there you go. 8:43 and some change. I'll be right back on the Outdoor Call Radio Network.
Hey, what's your name? Here's a Mrs. Butterworth.
Shut up.
In the mood for a great family treat or a special gift idea? Hop on over to the Lotta Pop store, located at 647 South Main Boulevard in Ankeny. That's where you'll find over 30 fresh flavors of the most delicious Iowa-grown popcorn in the central Iowa area. You'll love it.
Well, that's not good. What am I going to talk about for 15 minutes?
Jalapeno cheddar, cheddar cheese, birthday cake, or patriotic mix, just to name a few. You'll find something for everyone at Lotta Pop in Ankeny. Arlie and his crew can help you pick out the perfect variety pack, tin or gift package. Lotta Pop has everything you'll need, from ready-to-eat popcorn to all the fixings to make great popcorn at any event. Everyone loves popcorn, especially when it's from Lotta Pop. It's the same great popcorn you'll find at the Iowa State.
Boy, Iowa State dumped it last night, didn't they? They were. I really thought they were going to do good. You sounded kind of like the sheep rancher in 1923. Thanks, Jim. I'll get you, John Dutton. I'll get you, and I'll get your old posse as well. You money grabbing cattleman, you. See, he's more Scottish than Irish. When is the new one coming out? I've been waiting for 2 weeks for the new one. The last one they had, he threw the guy over the ship. And he deserved it too, the cheater. Pulled out the old gun during a knife fight. You don't do that. I thought that was good. Bloop. I said kinda. I got you, Jim. I got you. Well, at least you didn't say I sounded like Helen Mirren.
You can even custom pick your setups.
Season finale. Was that the finale? When he threw the guy over the ship? I hope not.
Don't spoil it.
What? I'm not spoiling it.
Some of us haven't really gotten to it.
You're not going to watch it. You got cartoons to watch.
It's headed to your flesh. You
If
can't
I ever
eliminate it,
no
and you
kids.
may or may not find the tick. In the coming
Ah!
you may not notice a red
I gotta wait till this fall to watch it again. That stinks, man. He said that was the season finale.
may or may not test you for Lyme
Well, you
disease.
can. Where is it
May
on
or
the?
may not detect
Isn't it
it,
streaming?
meaning you may
Well,
or may
yeah,
not
that's how I watch it. I stream because I don't have.
Stream it. You
If
can
not
grab it
treated on time,
anytime you want.
you could have a lifetime
No.
of complications.
They don't have the new
Don't
episodes
take that
on it.
chance.
It's
Get
just the first
Eliminative
8.
clothing from Game High.
8 seasons?
A
Eight
limited
shows.
Insect Shield,
Lord,
a
you guys
repellent
scared
that
me
is
there, 'cause
fused
I'm
to the
a season
fabric
behind.
fibers.
Yeah,
Takes
this is
8.
1923, not
Limited
18.
clothing will retain its
The one with
effectiveness
Tim
for
McGraw's
longer.
done. This is the next generation.
The treatment is
So they,
Harrison
but they
Ford.
keep going earlier.
Wearing a limited
Right?
can help protect you
No,
from
no,
ticks,
the
No,
19.
they're gonna get up to
started
the
with
current.
18.
Yeah,
Started with
1812 or whatever it is.
And then went to this 19.
1923. Yeah. This one's got Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. In it.
Dan here. How many times have you had to quit hunting
Well, that's
because your
good.
feet got cold or uncomfortable? Well, I have a way to keep your feet feeling great in any weather or outdoor activity. Have you heard of Norlander Sock Company?
I have, and I've got Norlander socks on right now, buddy. Look at that. Alpaca socks right there.
Great all day. Alpaca socks.
Warm and comfy. Norlander alpaca. Rebecca socks also has a natural antibacterial quality to them that will keep your socks from smelling. They have heavyweight and lightweight styles with a bunch of color and size choices for you to choose from. Plus, gift boxes are available that are 100% guaranteed. So this year, when you plan your outdoor activities, make sure you keep your feet comfortable and feeling great all day. Try a pair of Norlander socks, pure alpaca, pure comfort. For more information, just go to norlandersocks.com and give your feet a treat.
Hi, this is Dr. Don Gilbert from New Life Counseling Services with offices.
Well, I need to get a hold of Dr. Don, see how he's doing. Hope he's doing okay.
I see it every day. People dealing with relationship issues, parenting struggles, anxiety, depression, or folks just looking for a new direction or plan in their life. If you find yourself struggling and are looking for someone to help you find answers to a better relationship, a marriage, or just helping with everyday stress, please consider calling me at New Life. We offer a family-friendly, straightforward approach to helping you to get through
Joe.
layers
Thanks,
of
Joe. I
stress
didn't
that
get
can
to
be
do.
harmful to your
I
health,
wanted to.
relationships, and your work. The staff at New Life offer one-on-one sessions. They get right to the
It's
heart
like
of the
you have
matter.
to do your
We
job
work
or
with you
something?
so you can discover better choices on how to handle the
Come
issues
on.
you might be dealing with in your life.
Priorities.
When you're looking for someone to listen to you, we're here. Please consider calling us for a confidential appointment at New Life, 515-225-4006 in West Des Moines, or 964-5003 in Ankeny. Also find us 24/7 at newlifecounseling.com. We are here to help you when you need us.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. Last segment of the week. Boy, this week went quick. I'm telling you, thanks to Jim Coffey for helping us from the Iowa DNR. Turkey Biologist had a great first hour there. Thanks to Jim. So, broadheads for turkeys. We were talking about this. I've been using a head hunting broadhead the last couple seasons called a solid decap. I'm going to back off of that this year, and I'm going back to a mechanical one. It's a slick trick head. It's called a torch. It's a rear deploy broadhead. My humble opinion, I'm a fixed broadhead person normally, and if you've been listening to the show, you know that for the last 25 years. But for turkeys, I love a mechanical. They do a couple different things. We tend to get a little more wind in the spring, especially down in Kansas and here in Iowa. So you don't have to worry about it broadhead planing as you might if you're trying to shoot a longer distance. And when I say a longer distance, I'm talking 20 yards on a turkey. You don't want to be out there shooting 50 yards at a turkey. But the mechanicals also, when it hits the bird, well, actually when it deploys, it's going to slow down that arrow, and it's going to help trying to prevent that from going through the bird. You can put a little star, judo star behind there too if you want to keep it in. But anything you can do to slow that arrow down to get as much cutting diameter and as much impact on the bird. Again, you only have a target about the size of a softball when you get into their vital pocket. But that slick trick, I use raptor trick. I've shot a lot of birds with raptor tricks. I've shot the assailants, which is a hybrid, a fixed and a mechanical. I want to do the new torch this year. That's a rear deploying broadhead that we came out with last year at Slick Trick. And it's got a 2-inch cutting diameter. And whether you take a front shot, a broadside, or that Texas hard shot, that is going to be a devastating broadhead to try for this year. So that's what I'm doing. If everybody wanted to know what I was shooting. But for years, I shot a regular 3-blade fixed head. There's nothing wrong with that either. Shot placement is everything on turkeys. But, it's nice to have that big 2-inch cut when you're going after your tom and stuff this spring. So I love decapping them, man. The only thing bad is if you got 15, 20 mile an hour wind, those things plane like pelicans. I missed, if you watched the show, or I don't know if Ryan and Paul and Larry showed that on the show, but I missed twice in Kansas in one set because the wind was so windy. And I had the deeks at 10 yards, man. I went about that far to the right. I'm showing everybody on Facebook Live. I went about 1.5 inches to the right both times. And it's like I was aiming to the left to compensate, but that arrow just planed off on me. So, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm looking forward to getting out there. What is today? The 11th? The 11th today? What is today? The 11th. So I got about 3 weeks before I can start shooting birds in Kansas. So, and then I'll come back home and hunt Iowa and finish up in Missouri. So I need to get out to Nebraska or Montana and do a little Merriam hunting. I haven't done that in a long time. I need to do that. Boy, I love Merriams. Merriams are such a pretty bird. They're vocal, and as Larry likes to say, they're stupid. So I need all the help I can get. But man, they're just a beautiful bird. I think the last bird I shot, my last Merriam I shot was in Valentine, Nebraska, I believe. So been a while. I'm telling you, you're either in them or you're not. They flock up, that early season in Nebraska, and you could be in 100 birds or you could be in nothing. It's crazy how they do that. Respect the Game TV. Check us out on the Sportsman's Channel, Pursuit, Waypoint, the Hunt Channel, and YouTube. And there's a couple other things we're coming out with. I'll let you know. I need to get Larry Mack on here to talk about that a little bit. Advanced Family Dentistry. That is my dentist du jour. That's who I like to go get my teeth cleaned and get all my dental work done. They've been voted the best dentist practice in Ankeny for I don't know how many years running. Dr. Scott Obi-Wan Kenogi Yagi. Kenogi Nogi. Yeah, he's my Jedi dentist who uses the Force to calm me down. Dr. Scott, Dr. Yagi, Dr. Brandt, Dr. Williams, Dr. Stewie, Matt Stewie, Dr. Matt Stewie. No, it's not Matt, it's his wife. Yeah.
There you go.
But we got to say Stewie when we can.
Yeah.
I like the dumb ones, Dan. Tony, don't we all? We need as much help as we can get. If you're new to the area, you just need a new dentist, or if you're looking for a new dentist, Advanced Family Dentistry folks, they'll just take really good care of you. Super nice people. 515-964-1490, or go check them out anytime at ankenysmiles.com. Tell them Outdoors Dan sent you, and I promise you they will take great care of you. Andrew can tell you that. Andrew's been there.
Yeah.
They took good care of Andrew.
Sure did.
Yeah, Andrew was hurting. Dr. Obi-Wan took him under his wing and come here, young Padawan, and he took care of him.
The Force will be with you always.
It's the floss, Obi-Wan. You see now, old bat.
Wrong, sir.
Yeah.
Wrong.
The floss. Oh. Well, I'll be at Sportsman's Warehouse at 11 o'clock. If you got some kids that want to go turkey hunting, bring them out. I've got 3 Dave Smith decoys I'm going to let the kids put in for a drawing. I've got some Rupert's Roost and Peace turkey calls you can play with while I'm there. If you got any turkey questions, we can talk about anything you want to talk about there, or just talk turkey. Share some stories. I'm all about that. And if you need help with anything at the store, as far as suggestions on gear, I know I'm going to be buying a push pin call from my buddy Hilly at Triple H Outfitters. I was talking to him last night, and he's not able to run a friction or slate call anymore, so I'm going to get him a push pin call. Those are really easy to run, and I wish I had as much experience in the woods as Hilly does. He's my hero, Hilly over there at Triple H Outfitters. So good, fine feller right there. But come on out. I'll be there from 11 to noon, and love to see you. So and. Some lucky kids are going to be walking out with a decoy. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Andrew?
Yeah.
Want to make a trade?
No.
No?
No.
Great show, Dan. Thanks. See you Wednesday night. Well, Rick, thank you. Enjoy the gift certificate, Mr. 7-Shot. He had a full magazine this morning. Pow, 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 pow. And he got him, the grass man.
He sure did.
He
I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
He was on target. Man, this show went quick.
I know.
Yeah. I tell you, the whole week went quick. Hey, if you haven't listened to the Outdoor Call Radio app in a while, please download the app and go check it out. If you've missed any of the Unknown Files show and you want to listen, if you go to the website, theoutdoorcallradio.com, and look on the archive page, I've got all of the Unknown Files shows archived there. You can listen free. Just click on it, and it'll go 1 through 9 or 1 through 10, and you can catch up on what you've been listening to. But good shows on there. I think you'll enjoy them.
Plus, you can catch them today. We always go ahead and give you a recap of this last week on Saturday.
Yeah, you can always listen on the app on Saturday, too, if you missed the show. So. All right, we're going to get out of here. Be good to one another. We'll do it again Wednesday night on the Outdoor Call Radio app. Until then, God bless, and keep it right here on 1350 ESPN. Bye, everybody. All right, gang. Thank you for spending 2 hours with me this morning. Have a great weekend. If you're not doing nothing, come out and say hi at Sportsman's. Otherwise, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Delicious meals or great tasting snacks.